So if you guys could go ahead and do the same to anybody that might be interested. I wonder if it's actually working. Your channel. Oh, we're live. Oh, look at that. You know, what'd be great is if I had a.
If you had a.
I'm sending a link to your guys' text message. Just one sec.
Okay.
And you can share that link with whoever. Put my wife in here. She's probably not going to watch, but.
All right. Putting up on my story here.
That's probably the best way to do it. I don't have access to my phone because I'm using it as a camera.
Oh.
So that's always fun.
Oh. What year is it?
It is the year of our Lord 2024. I'll put an SCD in case anybody wants to watch, but I know if they're going to do anything, they're just going to troll the group chat.
I mean, yeah, it's like.
Oh, there we go. Oh, we got some people in here. All right.
All right, it's up on my story as well.
Sweet. Should I put it up on my story? Do I risk it? Can you post on Instagram from can you add to your story from your computer?
I think maybe
right?
not. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm the wrong person to ask about anything Instagram related.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah, I really need to we have an Instagram account for this podcast actually, and I have neglected the shit out of it.
You do random stuff from it from time to time. You did the Fernando post, which was nice.
This is significant. I should post this. That's my logic. It's like, this is a big deal. I should post this.
I see our account commenting on random posts from time to time. It's nice.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you noticed.
Yeah.
We have 8 whole followers. One of them is, I guess, Grievous is PT, or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah, Collin, I don't see your PT following our Instagram.
I don't have a PT.
I should ask my psychiatrist. I just got off the phone with her. Hey, can you watch my podcast? It's good for my health. All right, fellas, here we are. Welcome to another episode of Everyone Hates Us, a podcast dedicated to the art of winning in the beautiful sport of baseball, a sport that is only going to be around for, I guess, one more day, before we head into the winter meetings. Wait, what?
Calling your shot. Ooh.
I'm not calling my shot yet. We'll get to that. All right, so we've got a great show for you guys today. Quick rundown of what's going on since last week. Obviously, a lot. The World Series, the first 3 games of the World Series have happened. We're coming up here on the cusp of the 4th game of the World Series, live from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Did you know the MLB account got the time wrong on their graphic? They were like 5 p.m. Eastern, and I'm like, oh, that's not right. And they left it up there for a good amount of time. But I digress. 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're gonna do a lot of baseball talk, but we're also gonna do a lot more baseball talk. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna talk about the World Series, but we're also gonna start to get into the offseason a little bit, talk about some of the free agents we have coming up, the contracts that they're gonna pull in, all that good stuff. Some interesting free agents this year. Interesting. It's very top heavy. And by top heavy, I mean there's one guy and then there's one pitcher. There's one position player, one pitcher that everybody wants. And then the rest is like, interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about Aaron Rodgers. And then we'll get to our third. Okay. First things first, boys. We have here the New York Times covers, or sorry, the New York Post covers. The New York Times is way too classy to do something like this. From the last 3 games of the World Series, it's pretty awkward. You feel for New York, and a lot of that has to do with our boy, Freddie Freeman. Fellas, the Yankees are down 3-0. Freddie Freeman has a homer in each of those 3 games, including a very important one yesterday that probably won the game. All right, so this is our World Series talk space. So if you want to call your shot, now's the time. Collin, are you going to call your shot?
I think the Yankees are cooked. There's just nothing I've seen from them in this series that makes me think anything's going to change. Like, what do they do better than the Dodgers right now? The Dodgers lineup is longer. We're seeing that with Edman making, big plays here. The Dodgers bullpen's been better. The Dodgers even starting pitching has probably been better as well. And the biggest delta, though, definitely has been, man, the base running and defense the Yankees just can't stop making outs on the base paths. The Dodgers making diving catches. The Yankees punting the ball in the corner, turning doubles into triples. That was the story of Game 1, really. Garrett Cole probably didn't deserve to go up any runs, but 2 doubles that turned into triples because the outfielder kicked into the corner like they're in Little League. It's just been really kind of an embarrassing showing from the Yankees, just all the way around. Outside Stanton and Soto, no one else has really acquitted themselves very well here. You could probably talk about bullpen armor too. I thought Garrett Cole pitched very well, but the rest of that lineup is completely no-showed. MVP Aaron Judge, he's matched Shohei Ohtani, but that's just not really mattered. Hasn't really done much for either one. I think if you're the Yankees, you probably try to delude yourself into saying you're having nobody on the mound for the Dodgers tonight. Probably a little bit of a bullpen game. Get some momentum here. You have Garrett Cole tomorrow, 3-2 back to LA. Maybe get a little pressure on, but. Man, they just look so bad in every phase of the game right now. It's just tough to see them pulling off 4 in a row and just flipping that switch overnight, especially with how healthy Freddie Freeman is. We talked about that kind of being like a big thing coming into the series. I mean, his bat has just been red hot.
Is someone going to make a call here? Sorry, guys. I'm going off mic because I'm having technical difficulties and I'm not going to be able to fix this during a live show. But Murph, what's going to happen tonight?
I think the Yankees get swept.
Wow. Okay.
They have a rookie on the mound. I think the Dodgers get to him early, and the Yankees kind of just fold.
That is not any other rookie we're talking about here, though. And Luis Gil has been excellent, this year so far. And so that's something I really want to kind of get into a little bit. Dan, how do you feel about our chances today, actually?
They only need 2 runs with the way the Yankees are hitting.
You're just jinxing the shit out of us like this.
I think the likeliest outcome is we win tonight and we close it out. I think, I mean, obviously with the bullpen game, there's a lot of variance there. And it could conceivably go to 5 games, but I don't see it going past that. I think Colin's right. We've even in the areas where we were expected to have sort of the disadvantage going in, we've been outplaying the Yankees. The starting pitching has been great for us so far, and apart from Garrett Cole, it has not been for the Yankees. And the lineup is a lot longer, and the managing has been better, and the defense has been better, and just the overall momentum. It's you could. From when we were texting when Fat Joe came out yesterday, and the mood in the stadium, and the sort of the feel and the look of the players. By the end of yesterday's game, everyone looked sad, and Soto looked mad. I think we are fully in their heads. And
I mean, you guys are even doing the anthem better than them.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest delta.
You know what's really sad is Fat Joe was doing the performance over a recorded track with his vocals still on it.
Yep.
And it just sounded awful. It looked Bush. It felt Bush. It just felt really, and you're just how do you get fired up for something like that? Meanwhile, Ice Cube walks from the center field fence all the way to home plate, all right, to the batter's box.
and he times it perfectly. He times his walk perfectly, like with the songs. And there's no backing vocals. It's just him. He switches the lyrics up because Ice Cube, as you guys all know, phenomenal writer, could probably switch it up on the fly like that. And switches up the lyrics to dunk on the Yankees. And like, when you see that, you know, everything about LA projects like it's this image of like intimidation. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we got it all together. We're doing our thing. All right, we're going to do how we do it. And you're just going to have to do what you can do about it. All right, like everybody else is just going to have to deal with this. Whereas the Yankees are kind of like, that Fat Joe thing looked like they called Fat Joe like the day before, like, yo, they had Ice Cube. Joe, we called Nas, he's busy. We called Jay, he's busy. We called Eminem, he's busy. Joe, can you do us a solid? Can you come through and play a couple of your overrated like club anthems for us? And you know, maybe do I get a backing vocal? Like, yeah, sure. You know, and then it's like it ends up just being the actual like vocal track is still on there, and he just goes out. It just looks so sloppy and haphazard. Like, just the vibes are totally different. Like one is polished and, you know, is stepping into the box ready to hit. The other one's just like, yeah, I guess we can react to this. You know, is it a curveball? Is it a fastball? Is it Ice Cube? Is it Fat Joe? Like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They look tired. They look like, I'm so exhausted with baseball. I just want to go home. They're all Glaber Torreses right now. You know?
Fat Joe looked like he wanted to check out the Knicks game.
Yeah, he's like, they can't have me do this in Madison Square Garden. Like, he just looked like he looked checked out too, and the timing was off. It was just like a low rent version of what LA did, and it just 100%. really sad.
That's why you go for home field advantage. So you can have your singing introduction first and set the tone.
But what's crazy is they had a chance to do better. Like, you go first so that the other team can one up you also. Like, the other team can look at that and be like, all right, they had Ice Cube. Yo, we need to like up it a notch. We need Jay-Z. We need Nas. Like, we need somebody who's gonna really like, you know, we need a Notorious B.I.G. hologram. Like, that's, you know,
Alicia Keys.
I'm sorry.
Alicia Keys.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been good.
Yeah, I think the logistics of hauling a piano out to the mound is not great, but but you know, I would have taken that. That would have been like, oh damn, that's like okay, that's classy. That's New York Yankees. And that's where I'm kind of going with this. Is like, guys, it's like the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore. And the real, like, when we grew up, and we're all around, I guess, relatively the same age. We grew up with the Yankees and Steinbrenner, and like, you know, they're the classy organization. They win all the time. Like, you know, we're just used to them having all the money. They're like the white shoe club of the MLB, right? Like, and we just kind of grew up with that perception. And I just had this epiphany yesterday while I'm watching the Fat Joe thing. And I'm like, God, the Yankees aren't cool anymore. Like, they're not clean buttoned up or anything anymore. They're just like, what are they doing here? I was like, man, is the AL that bad? Like, is it that bad that this is the team they sent us? Like, they don't look good. You know, and it's just the perception has changed. So what I'm saying is, we're at this point where like the Dodgers are the new empire. They're like the big like bullies on the block, and this torch pass is like happening right now. Like, it's happened. If we sweep, the torch is like not just passed; it's like snatched away, you know. And the Dodgers own the mantle of being like the premier franchise in MLB. And I think the valuation is going to go the same way too. Like, I know Yankees is the most valuable franchise in baseball still. I think that eventually the Dodgers have a chance to overtake them. Like, they have basically the entire Japanese market now that they're just going to slap on top of here. Guys, it's like it's the fall.
Speaking of your AL thing, you know, this is what happens when the Astros don't make the ALCS. You know, we got garbage like the Yankees making it. At least they always stop that from happening.
I mean, and we got a chat here. They're human now. When we were kids, they were larger than life. That's a good way to put it. You know, they're larger than life when we were kids, right? It was just like,
they
got Jeter, they got everybody. They got Bernie Williams. They got freaking everybody, right? Like Posada, Jeter, Andy Pettit.
Mariano.
You know, they even have Roger Clemens. They even got Randy Johnson. I just remember being like, what is Randy Johnson doing here? Like, what the? God damn it. Like, and it's just, they were that classy organization, and now it's fallen off a cliff. You know, it's just like, you have an aging Giancarlo Stanton who can't leg out a second to home without getting thrown out by probably one of our weaker outfielders in Teoscar Hernandez. Everybody talks about Teo's defense. No, Stanton's gimpy, dude. Like, I don't know why you send him on that, but it was close. Like, I get why you send him, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just looking at it like, oh, Mike, your legs. And yeah, what are you sliding into? Are you sliding into Will? Like, what are you trying to give Will Smith a hug?
Yeah, he slid right into his glove.
It was horrible. That's my beef. I was like, this is just, and that's what I see the Yankees as, is Giancarlo Stanton. Can they hit a dinger every now and then? Yeah. Can they make some noise? Yeah, sure. But like, they're just this aging, expensive, kind of bad player. It's kind of bad team. They got 3 guys who need to produce, and then if they don't produce, literally nobody else is going to do anything. And you go down that lineup, no, like where's the save coming, right? Like, Dan, like if Freeman doesn't produce, which like obviously LOL, right? Not happening. Yeah. But like Shohei doesn't produce. Okay, his bat's been cold. Mookie doesn't produce. Freeman doesn't produce. Then what happens? Well, we got Teoscar, we got the other Hernandez brother, we got Muncy, who's basically just going to get on base. We got Edman, who can't stay off base. Like, we got all these options. It just keeps going and going and
going. Will Smith, who's a great offensive catcher, but we've gotten next to nothing from this playoffs, and it hasn't mattered. Like the lineup is just 9 deep most days.
It really is, and it's just, I think that's the new wave of baseball, is that you got to have a team that's this deep. And what's catastrophic is if we sweep them today, and I shouldn't say we, if the Dodgers sweep them today, I mean, how bad is this? They're missing 3 of their best pitchers. Shohei hasn't even shown up. All right. Like, we literally just run it back with the same team next year healthy. And what can you do about it? Like, what are you going to do? Like, our biggest threat is probably Atlanta and the Padres, right? Like, Atlanta getting healthy and Padres reloading, right? Like, Padres reloading, maybe getting Soto, we'll get to that. But like, where's the threat? Like, it's just, we're steamrolling through the AL, like, whoever the AL sends over. It's pretty disrespectful, guys. I think we're snatching the mantle away from the Yankees. This is it. This is the official, like, 2024 was the year baseball had a sea change. The Yankees are no longer the class of the MLB. That's now LA. So that's what's at stake. These guys better show up, man. If I'm a Yankee fan, I'm pissed. Like, yo, I was texting Dan yesterday. I was like, I would be so pissed if I was a Yankee fan. I would be so pissed watching this. I'd be going crazy. Are you kidding me? Like, this is horrible. Like, they can't buy a hit. And then it's Alex Verdugo is the guy who gets the home. Like, what? And you're just pissed.
At the same time, I think this Yankees mystique is largely a holdover at this point. They haven't won in 15 years. They haven't beaten a non-AL Central team in the playoffs since 2012. Like, they have they've mostly feasted on the Twins and the Guardians, and just other than that, they've just been losing to the Astros in the playoffs for 12 years.
I'm trying to think of like what's a good analogy for this. It's like your racist grandpa who's like making excuses for everything. No. Like making excuses for why like things aren't the same anymore. It's like the Astros cheated, like that's why we didn't win in 17. We should have won that thing, right? It's like the Astros cheated. The Red Sox cheated. That's why we didn't win in 2018, and it's just like how the things should be how they used to be, and it's like back when, I don't know, before the Civil War, like, I don't know, like, what are you thinking of? Like, what? Like, you guys haven't been relevant in like 2 decades almost. Like 2009 was like the last one, but like that was kind of like an outlier World Series. Right, that was like, oh, they won it, and then I honestly think like 2004 was the knockout punch that kind of put them on their butt. And once you get knocked out, you're never the same again. Like it's just 2004 might have ruined this franchise forever. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. Like, it's pretty bad.
Dave Roberts is back to finish the job.
He's popping the nails in. He's just like, oh, okay, one more. Oh man, it's bad, guys. So yeah, I'm with it. Like the Yankees are human. They are not what they used to be, and I think the only people who expect them to be the Yankees of old are their fans, which is why they're booing Aaron Judge in the game. They're doing all this horrible stuff to their own players, and just like what's a really bad thing to do when your player's like not like kind of has the yips. What's a really bad thing to do is tell him he has the yips. Why do you keep reminding him that he sucks? What you should do when your player is struggling and has clearly a mental issue at the plate is keep running headlines about how horrible he is, and then don't stop like tweeting and Instagram commenting about how horrible this guy is, so that he'll never get out from under. That's what you want. It's just crazy. Like, so
it's the anti Trey Turner.
It's the anti, and they tried to do the standing ovation yesterday. Did you see that? They tried to do a standing ovation for Judge, and it's just like. He did
for what?
Playoff Judge things.
The walk? Productive out?
No, like as he came to the plate, they tried to do the standing out to like get him all fired up.
Just trying to figure out what play deserved anything.
Oh. You know what the hardest one to watch was the 76 mile per hour lollipop that was like middle, and I thought he crushed it. Like Joe Davis announced it like he crushed it. The way it came off the bat, I was like, oh, this is gone. And then we see like our center fielder running in. Just like, oh no. This guy can't catch a break out here, man. Like,
dude, his batting average is like a trivia night BAC.
At .091.
I don't know what kind of trivia night you're going to, Bert. Like, you trying to die of alcohol poisoning? Like, that's really high. 0.09 is like 9%, right? Like, that's insane.
No, it's 0.9%.
Oh, 0.9%? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not great for the Yankees. So, Collin, yes, sweep. Dan, what do you got?
Yeah, I think we'll win tonight.
I got a bad feeling too. And you know what's sad? I feel bad. I feel bad that we're doing this. Like it doesn't feel good. Like it'll feel good once we have the parade and all that, and I watch the post game. Like it'll feel bad for like 15 seconds, and then they'll do the trophy presentation, and I'll feel great. But
it doesn't feel bad to me. This is great.
I feel kind of bad, dude. You know how delusional these Yankee fans are, man. Like. Oh man, that whole city's they're never gonna recover from this.
They had to learn eventually.
Bro, and their best players walking at the end of the year. Like, they don't have money to re-sign this guy. Like, they do, but they're not going to.
The Yankees have money to sign whoever. They're just being cheap.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, yes, technically every team is quote-unquote being cheap, right? But, like, I don't think they're going to re-sign him, dude. I think the Mets are going to outbid them. I think the Padres are probably going to be all in on him. Like, the Giants. I don't see the Padres going after him.
The Padres were in a contention window. Like, why deal him away? He's going to be making $450 plus. He's going to ask for 12 to 16 years. Like, what that contract was. What that contract was going to be. So why would you trade him for a year and a half in a contention window if you're the Padres? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, you got
clearly decided. I think
just to scoop up Michael King,
Kyle Higashioka, like
there are cheaper ways to do that, and not to like ruin, a year and a half of contention. So
I don't know if it ruined. Like they were very competitive this year. They looked very good.
Like
if it's not us, it would have been them.
They would have been better with Soto.
Yeah, that's true. But like, if not us, it would have been them. And Michael King's a nice couple 2-year bridge right there that they just bought. Was starting pitching, and he looked nails up until he came up against us. So like
for sure. But if you're willing to pay it, don't trade him.
Yeah, that's fair. So we'll get to that. We're jumping the gun here a little bit, guys. So I'm gonna go with we're gonna lose this game, and here's why. I see Dave maybe prepping. So I saw that we're starting Kasperius. Which means I think Dave's going to run out the kind of low leverage guys and just kind of chill a little bit with the hope to really like regroup for game 5. Or we need to get a tinfoil hat for this show. Fernando Valenzuela's birthday is November 1st. And if we want to throw a couple here, You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Just throw a couple. Just give them a little confidence. We know they can't hit. We know 4th or 9 is boned. Like, it's no big deal. Like, come on, guys.
I don't know.
clear, you're
Sorry,
proposing
5 through 1 are boned, and then 2, 3, 4 are great. But 5 through 1 is boned. Like, they're not gonna hit nothing. You know.
So you're proposing the Dodgers might want to throw games 4 and 5 in order to clinch.
To
at
force
home.
a game 6, it's gonna cost $5 grand because he's gonna go out to that game for sure, right? But just to create the storybook ending,
Right.
Because it's not enough that MLB. So the Lakers, they went through something like this. I have a conspiracy theory that the Lakers were gifted their 2020 ring because of the Kobe thing. So Kobe passed away, obviously tough year for the city of LA, sans Euno. But what happened was basically I saw that playoff run. I saw some of the foul calls and like some of the stuff that was going on. I was like, oh, like they're giving it to us, And then they forced Russell Westbrook on the Rockets to like play extra minutes because House was suspended. I was like, oh, this is really like, this is working out nice for us, So I have a feeling like I got a bit of a
I honestly think it'd be the other way. I think you can use your bigger arms today rather than risk it versus Garrett Cole. Just like put him in the ground while you have the chance. Obviously, it depends what
happens today,
whatever
Kasperi
starts, how he starts it. Kasperi, yeah. And if you guys get to Gill, then obviously it's straight A lineup, A pen. I mean, sorry, and try and just not get through that, but it's tough.
Damn, what is our A pen anymore? Honestly, like Triton's
been shaky.
He looked a little shaky towards the end there, and then we got Kopech, who
Kopech's been shaky.
Gave up a bomb yesterday. So I'm just like, who is our A pen? Brent Honeywell Jr. Are you there, buddy? Like
Alex
It's
Vesey.
the D-backs. It's Huddy, it's Banda.
Does that make you salty at all, Collin? That like Huddy and Banda are killing it for us?
Totally not bitter about this. Banda busted so hard.
What was your guys' need in the offseason? Like bullpen help, pitching.
Starting pitching.
You guys had pitching. It's crazy. You guys had pitching. You just give it away. Remember when that team had Max Scherzer? Like that was crazy.
How do you get Ian Kennedy? That was too good.
Woo! I love it. Obviously, yeah, this is a tough series, but I think it's at least this game we'll give it to them, because MLB can't stomach this. Like, I think the entire like city of Manhattan will like the borough of Manhattan will like sink into the Atlantic Ocean and like never recover. Like 10 million people are about to drown tonight. Like it's gonna be rough.
Yesterday during the game, you were saying the same thing, because for example, there was that call outside of the zone as a strike that would have walked in another run, and you were saying Fox needs to sell ads. Like the calls are going against us, and some went for us, but like yeah, I don't think this is. I think the Yankees are just not good enough right now to take advantage of anything.
It's like they're so bad that like they can't take advantage of the clear like umpiring advantage.
Yeah.
And so the umpire's like, you know what? You're not doing anything with this anyway. I gotta save my reputation. You know what? That strike up there, that ball that's like a full ball width above the zone. Like out of here. Like you guys suck.
Sit down, Glaber.
I'm sick of this. Trying to help the Yankees win. They don't even accept my help.
That was dirty with Torres.
Torres don't deserve no call, man. Torres don't deserve any call, man. I hate Gleyber Torres, and you know what? I respect the Yankees. I hate Gleyber Torres because he donks it, dude. Even the pick out of the ground, bro. Get in position. Get like center yourself on that ball, like the throwback, like from center field, or was it Soto who threw it? And Torres like muffed the catch, like trying to backhand it. What the hell are you doing, bro? Like get in position, like show some fundamentals, bro. Like pretend you care. Shohei took an extra base on that. Like that's preventable like mistakes. That's unforced errors, right? Like
no, I just like the defense problems they've been having. But something I've actually been wondering for a couple years now Is Gleyber Torres, Thompson, Shumpert, or the Nets pick?
Ooh. He's definitely not Shumpert because Shumpert could tee up when he had to. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude.
They got him
He's a free agent.
for Chapman
What's up?
in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. He's a free agent at the end of the year and he's playing like this. You know what I mean? Like I feel like his head's in the offseason for sure. He's like a slightly above average hitting shortstop. Like he's gonna get some money. Like he's probably checked out. He's ready. He's on to Cincinnati. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had a good season last year.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, dude. Because he's not playing winning baseball. And like I saw like the rage, like you know when the Yankees were going through a slump this year and people were raging on Gleyber, and I was like, you're like he's not a winning baseball player. And I watched him during the World Series. I'm like, he's not. Like he's not. So I don't blame the Yankees for thinking that at all. So yeah, have we beat the Yankee thing to death? Like.
We could go on, but
I
yeah.
mean, is it one of
More
those
than the
stop?
Dodgers.
He's already dead. Like, oh god. All right. Well, let's move on. Our next one has a clip. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. And I don't know how YouTube does about
Looking
these.
ahead, you guys have a little over 2.5 million left open in the international signing bonus pool allocation. Have you kept that open for?
Are you serious right now?
Yes.
That's really the question?
Well,
Huh,
we
interesting.
hear from a lot of other GMs wondering.
This is the World Series, Ron. Like, this is outrageous. You want to talk about our hitting philosophy and the player development? Seriously, this is not appropriate for right now. Thank you.
And that was Andrew Freeman at the post-game press conference of Game 1. This is after the walk-off. Just completely just disses a reporter and just downs him. Was he out of line? Do you guys think he was out of line? Like, Dan, what do you think?
I think it is a pretty funny question to receive after that game, specifically. Like first walk-off Grand Slam in World Series history. That was the best game of this series. Like it was actually back and forth. It was actually tense. And coming up, this question after Game 3, I would totally understand. Because in this podcast, we're already sort of like looking towards the off season because it feels more or less like a foregone conclusion that it'll go towards the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers will either win the World Series or it'll be the greatest comeback in the history of the World Series. Which does not seem likely the way that the Yankees have been playing. So now a question like this makes sense. But after Game 1, it is a little silly, and I understand why Friedman responded the way he did.
Murph, what do you think? Was he inbounds, out of bounds?
I think it's a little aggressive response, to be honest. I agree that based off the game, it's kind of odd to just start jumping into that. But then again, like he's the GM, not the manager. Like, you know, he's not one of the players. I mean, he already set basically the World Series roster. There's like nothing else the GM is really doing at this point. As far as he's concerned, it's basically free agency. I think these type of questions for someone like that, it's totally fair game. You saw during the Diamondbacks run, they asked our president of baseball operations about stadium upgrades and stuff. You know, we were in the World Series still for that. I don't think the questions like are necessarily completely out of line for that reason. I do think it's still kind of a weird question to ask because of, you know, the game and, you know, it was Game 1 of the series, but I mean, he's the GM. If they had asked Dave Roberts this or something, like, absolutely, like, what? Or if they asked him what their impending free agency, you know, they asked Teoscar Hernandez, like, hey, what do you think you're going to get, like, in the offseason? Like, absolutely, completely out of line. But he's the GM. Everything he's done is done. He's got nothing else to really do except for start prepping for that. So I don't think that question is totally out of pocket.
I like that. I actually like that. That's good. That's good other side from Collin. I appreciate that. And obviously, great perspectives from both sides. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Murph. It is kind of the off season for pretty much every other team besides these two, and I mean soon to be deceased Yankees too. You know, like And I guess when we win, it's off season for us, but we still got like a parade and all that stuff we got to go to. Which, by the way, Murph, I got a question for you. As a D-backs fan, would you go to this parade?
Absolutely not. What?
It's worth a shot. I mean, you live close enough, you know what I mean? Like, you never wanted to see a championship parade like in your life?
Dodger Stadium has enough Dodger fans. We'd want to go to a place that's going to have more of them.
You live so close. Damn, Collin, that'd be like the first title like your team has seen in quite some time. You know, like,
not my team.
Or that would be the first parade that you'd have an opportunity to attend in quite some time. You know, aside from going to New Orleans and like getting a second line. This is not like it's not a common occurrence that you get to see like a championship parade. You know,
don't care. All right. Parades are only cool if they're celebrating something you care about. Not like they're celebrating something you actively root against.
Oh, the meteor didn't come.
Mayans again, man.
Well, on that note, we're moving on to our next segment. It's called Show Me the Money. And this is where we talk about the top free agents in the offseason. So for 30 teams in the MLB, it is the offseason. And so, is it 30, guys?
28. So
28,
30
sorry.
total. Yeah.
So for 28 teams in the MLB, it is the offseason. And it's not too early for us to start guessing where certain players are going to end up. We're going to go through like some of the top free agents. This is not a ranking. It's just like a kind of back a napkin. Yeah, this guy's good. This guy's good. So we're going to go through these free agents and try to get our try to nail down their contract number. So how much money they're going to get, how many years, and which team. All right. So there's a little game that we came up with literally 24 hours ago. Sent Merv and Dan on a scramble. But we're going to go ahead and try to figure this out. And there are rules, boys. There are rules. There are rules here, boys. Most points win. So points are as follows. So if you get the team correct, it's 5 points. And for the years in total contract value, we're going to do closest to actual in dollars and years. Okay, so those are two separate categories, the contract value and the number of years. Closest to the number gets first place, 15 points. Second closest gets 12. Third place gets 10. This is Grand Prix scoring. So we're just going to do that. There's 350 points available. The closest to 350 wins. And what do you guys think about some stakes here? You know, like how about last place? I mean, yeah, but should last place have to do something, and first place get to do something? You know what?
Sure. What are you proposing?
Yeah.
I'm proposing this. How about last place buys a jersey of first place's choice and has to wear it for a week. Every day for a week.
Yeah. I've done
what's
worse.
going to be really sad is if Dan and Murph like score. Dan comes in first and Murph comes in third or something, and Dan's like, "I want a Jordan Love jersey," and Murph's like, "Oh, I can do that." Like, the problem here is that Dan and Murph are both Packers fans.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Why do I get the bad thing? I'm gonna lose. All right, so. All right, so we're gonna do this, and I guess we'll do the jersey bet. You know, last place has to buy the jersey for first place. All right. Okay, and no Temu jerseys. All right, number one, it's our boy Juan Soto, the only effective Yankee batter outside of Alex Verdugo in the World Series, is here. He's a consensus number one free agent, obviously. Blah blah blah. Where's he going, boys? We kind of we hinted about it. We don't really actually know. Where's he going?
I say Mets. I think the Mets just really opened the coffers for him, and I gave the big offer. I said 15 years, 645 million.
15, 645.
Yep. I think there'll be a bit of a bidding war, but I think the Mets will just Godfather offer for him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Murph, you want to go?
Yeah. I did 480 over 13. So
Wow, Collin. 2016 called. They want their contract values back. What the? 480 over what?
13. I'm kind of modeling this off of the Bryce Harper contract,
Okay.
which I think is pretty reasonable. I think that was 330 over 13. So I added a little 150 there, 10 AAV. Kind of where I was at with that.
You jacked it up by 10. All right.
10 AAV, yeah, pretty much that was the thought on it.
Okay.
I do think though, like I do say that some of my number will be deferred. I do think that'll happen.
Okay. Murph, where'd you have him going?
I'm going the Mets as well. I think they're going to be big spenders here. I kind of think the Mets are going to have being on a couple of these guys. So they have a lot of expiring money, and Cohen wants to spend.
All right. I am anti LeBron logic here. And what I mean by LeBron logic is like if your team sucks, or we should call it KD logic. I'm anti KD logic here. If the Yankees lose, I don't think it hurts Soto's chances of coming back. I don't think it hurts it that much. I heard on, I think it was First Take or Get Up, one of the morning talk shows was like, well, the Yankees better win because, Soto won't want to come back. I don't think Soto's a front runner like that. Like, he played with the Nats for a while, got shipped. I don't know if he has that front running energy. So I have him going to the Yankees for 642 over 12. All right, and that is because Scott Boras. And yeah, we'll see. I think Scott Boras is gonna be back with a vengeance this offseason, but that's just me. So 642 over 12 to the Yankees, who definitely need him. I don't care what you say. Like, if you subtract Soto, half your season tickets are gonna get canceled next year. Like, you cannot let him walk away, especially not across town. That is something I don't think this. I don't think anybody wants to consider that, least of all Cashman. Next guy. Oh, whoops. All right, so we know this guy. He went to a new team after spending some time with the Brewers and being one of the best pitchers in baseball. Corbin Burns, in an era of health concerns and shorter outings for starting pitchers, Burns has been a workhorse. He's averaging 196 innings pitched per season over the last 3 seasons. That's pretty darn good. Where's he going, guys? Let's start with Murph this time.
You start with me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think I might have gone low again. I did 170 over 5.
Are you paying Corbin Burns or like Max Scherzer?
Hey, what's it called? Every free agent pitcher sucked ass. I know firsthand. I think there's going to be shorter free agent pitching contracts.
170 over 5. The D-backs actually have a shot at him. Like, I think you guys paid Zach Greinke more than that.
I mean, no. It was close. I think we were.
Are we looking at the same thing here, Colin? Dan, I feel good, man. I think Colin's gonna end up buying the jersey. It's just a bad matter of
for us.
Yo, you better make him get like a Dodgers jersey. It better not be some like Green Bay Packer collusion here. Okay, he's gonna lose. 170 over 5.
Yeah.
Where's he going? Sorry.
I'm going to the Dodgers.
Oh, that's why.
There's gonna be some sus things going on there.
There's a shot.
Interesting.
You spelled Roki Sasaki wrong though.
Yeah, I have him signing another pitcher on this list.
Yeah, Dan, where you got?
I have him re-signing with the O's, but I have him a bit more. I had him at 245 over 7.
Okay. So this is the New York Mets are going to spring for this guy. I have him at 317 over 8. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's right, just short of Garrett Cole money. But yeah, I think the Mets. This is their Garrett Cole.
I think the new ownership in Baltimore wants to keep him. Like I think they want to spend too. I think yeah, that was my thinking.
We'll see. Yeah, it is deep pockets all around right now. All right, this guy should not be ranked number 3 because he's not. the third best free agent available, but yeah.
He's a big name.
Alex Bregman. I need to bang a trash can. Third baseman for the Houston Astros. All right, so he's like kind of overrated. Like he's gotten a lot of love, but like I don't know. It's just like this guy's turning. He's about to be on the wrong side of 30, and
I think he already turned 30.
yeah. Murph, or let's start with Dan this time. Dan, who do you got?
I sort of struggled to figure out where to send him. Because I didn't think he was going to stay in Houston, and I ended up arriving at the Tigers. I think they're going to try again and sort of double down.
Overpay another horrible player. That's
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Try to avoid another Javi Baez contract, but yeah. I had him at 170 over 6.
Oh. All right, Murph. What do you got?
I am at 140 over 5.
And where's he
I'm
going?
sending them to the Yankees.
Ooh.
I think that would just be funny. Also, they have a real hole at third.
Yeah, it would be better than Jets.
Wow. Okay. Damn. Bregman to the Yankees would be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be spicy.
It would be very spicy. I've got him at 135 over 5 and going to a team in the AL East, the Toronto Blue Jays, who have a need at third and, aren't afraid of, splashing 9 figures here and there. So, I mean, they paid for George Springer, which, like...
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Like, all right, guys. Cool, I guess. All right, so I'm Blue Jays. Okay, moving on. Willie Adames, he's definitely not the 4th best available free agent. I took 5 position players and 5 pitchers, okay? That's my real methodology. It's not a ranking, all right? Willie Adames.
I can go
Huge
first on
defensive
this.
drop-off. Yeah, go ahead, Murphy.
I'm going to say 150 over 6,
Wow.
and I'm going to send them to Toronto.
That's... Wow. Okay. Who's starting shortstop over there? Is it Bichette?
Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette.
Okay.
And it's like 85 OPS plus.
Okay. I mean, yeah. So you have 150 over 6? All right. Dan, what do you got?
I actually have 155 over 6.
Nice. Okay.
I have him going to us. I have Friedman finally getting his guy from Tampa Bay.
But we have Edmund for another year.
Yeah. I thought Edmund would slide over.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, he does play a lot of second base. Okay. I've got him going to the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh.
And 75 over 3. All right. And here's my logic. I think his defense has already started to decline. And I think when you have that, so we all know shortstop defense kind of falls off a cliff after you turn like 28, and his defense is already declining. And so like he might not be the most eligible shortstop like in half the organizations in baseball, which might severely limit his market and how desirable he is. Or the other thing is like what Bryce Harper did before his free agency year, which is like kind of don't take too many risks, don't be diving for balls, don't be going crazy. It destroyed his DRS and like all his defensive metrics, like his zone rating and everything fell off a cliff. But when it happening was like, okay, he's like a half decent fielder once he got his contract because he was just kind of protecting his body for that last year before the contract. So there's that school of thought. And then there's I don't think Adames is going to be a plus shortstop ever again. And I'm kind of more in that boat. But he can plug a gap, and I could see him getting some prove it years, maybe opt outs on that 75 over 3 or 80 over 3 with like player options to where if he can recover his defensive form, he can go ahead and sign a deal somewhere else. But yeah, shortstops don't age that well on defense, guys. Like I'm thinking of like maybe Andrelton Simmons is the last guy I really saw like holding it up. Correa has been pretty solid despite I don't know, guys. Like,
Andrelton's an outlier for sure.
Yeah, he's a freak, but yeah, I can't really think of too many shortstops that aged well on defense, So, all right, moving on. Snellzilla, boys, where's he going? Career high, by the way. He only pitched 100 innings. He gave us the Tyler Glasnow special, but he threw all of his career highs and career lows in xERA, FIP, xFIP, K per 9. All his numbers were checking out this year before he hit the market. So, where do you guys have him going?
I have him at 110 over 3 going to the Yankees.
Ooh.
Wow, we're actually pretty close. I have 105 over 3 to the Giants. I think he stays home. They kind of like what he did in the back half of the year. And I think they're going to bring him back low.
Man, you guys are low on Blake. I think he takes the years. I think he's getting 182 over 6 from the Padres to go back down there and do it again. You know, I know they had him like kind of pounding sand, but you know,
I feel like
come back.
They were willing to pay him that contract. They would have done it before he sucked with the Giants and would have just done it.
Oh, he was great with the Giants this year.
I mean, what's it called? Like, weren't all of his rate numbers up?
No, these are all like career low numbers on the xERA. Yeah, he looked good this year.
He started really bad and then he just went insane.
But he does that every year. Like he did that with the Padres too.
Yeah, but this was like an extreme case. Like he was at like a 9 ERA, and then his next and then his next month and a half was like a sub 1 or something. It was
okay.
Yeah.
He just takes some time to get settled in. You'd rather he settle in the second half than the first. Yeah. So no, I haven't taken the years. I think Boris gets him the bag, at a pretty high AAV at that. All right, next guy we just saw in the NLCS. Polar Pete Alonso. How much is he getting, boys, and where's he going? Dan, go ahead.
This one I struggled with because I do think the Mets want to spend, but since I have them spending so much on Soto, I had him leaving. I have him going to the Mariners. I have him going to the Mariners for 180 over 7.
Look how they massacred my boy. Why would you send any offensive free agent to the Mariners?
Because they need offense.
I don't think he's gonna help. Like I don't think he's gonna do it, man.
I don't think so either, but I think they will think so.
Oh my god! Well, how dumb do you think they are? Like,
I mean, they got to play in the stadium.
Oh my!
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I struggled with where Alonso and Bregman were the two that I put, and one of the ones coming up in the pitchers were the ones that I struggled most with where to put him. But I do think he'll leave, and yeah, I ended up with Mariners, but less confident about that one than some of my other ones.
All right. Well, first base contracts is Murph's area of expertise. So what do you got, Murph?
I think Mets keep their fan favorite, 150 over 6. And they just kind of lock him up for life. I think this is Cohen throwing the fan base token of appreciation. Like, here, I know you guys like this guy. We're going to bring him back.
You know what baseball needs? Aprons. Baseball needs aprons. So that stupid stuff like that doesn't happen. I've got the same thing. 165 over 6 to the Mets. Same logic. It's just like, and I think it changed after like that game, you know, like where he hit the home run and kept them in the hunt. I think
he definitely went up a lot his contract with the playoffs regardless.
Yeah, I think the playoff performance was very reassuring because he had a pretty season, you know. So, yeah, shout out Pete Alonso. Get the bag, buddy. Get the bag. Cody Bellinger was still better. All right. Teoscar Hernandez, El Chino, my favorite player on the Dodgers, not named Tommy Edman right now. And a baby. Love it. Collin, you Dodger hater, where do you have this man going?
You'll like this. I have him going to the Mariners for 68 over 30.
Why are we just sticking players on the Mariners? They're not going to go there. They got careers to protect, man. Like, this is insane.
He's 32. He's taking whatever is giving him the most money, which is also why I like DG's logic, because Alonso's signing his last contract. So the numbers are irrelevant. Like a bad stadium. This is when you go to a team like the Giants, Mariners, and those like hitting horrible stadiums.
Look what they did at Robinson Cano. You know, like, look at it's a graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Mariners. Eunice just texted me saying, "What a waste." So turns out my wife is watching this. So what a waste, guys.
I think he's struggling to get more than like a 2-year deal with like a team option, just with his age. And Dodger players don't have a great track record of bouncing around other places. So I think Mariners give him 3 years and he goes there.
Guys, am I on crack, or is like a 32-year-old with power hitter like not that big a concern age-wise? Like we've seen like, Nelson Cruz, Elvis Andrews. Well, Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, I didn't give him a lot of years either, but I think he'll perform for those years.
That's what I'm saying. So like, why not? Why not spring a chance? Like if he gives you 3-4 wins at the DH spot, because it's looking like that's where he needs to go. You know what I'm saying? It gives you 3-4 wins on DH spot. That's worth some money. So you guys need to stop sticking them in the Mariners. It's not okay, dude. That's so lazy. I gave you guys 24 hours to think about this stuff, and you guys are just like, oh, what team needs like pop? Well, the Mariners definitely need pop.
Just wait.
Talk about lazy. Give us 24 hours.
Shut up. You can think about better stuff than this in half an hour, dude. Like the Mariners.
Look,
like really?
a polar bear wants to be in the north.
Yeah, but it rains, so like that's probably not an ideal habitat for a polar bear.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is okay, guys. Pete Alonso to the Mariners would be like the biggest, like everybody feels bad about that, including Mariners fans. They're like, I don't know about spending 9 figures on this guy. Like, what? Dude, no way. It's like, well, what French playoff team needs a bunch of bats? Like, oh, the Mariners.
They do.
But that's
Here's my argument against Teo signing with Seattle was he's already been there.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
it
that.
sucked. Like he didn't play well, and I don't think he wants to go back. Like he would probably just veto it from his agent. So I could see Seattle gassing up the number. But all right, full disclosure, I definitely thought about Seattle for a second too, because I was like, oh, you know what it's like over there. Just like he probably doesn't like it. I have him. This makes me sad. Going to the Chicago Cubs. 137/5. And I think the Cubs are the type of team that was just going to spring for a sure-handed bat like this. And it's kind of sad, but whatever. Teo, get your money. You deserve it.
Wait. I didn't say my prediction for
Oh,
Teo.
shit. I'm sorry.
All good.
Okay.
All good. I actually have him stand because I think what you put in the blurb. I think it's gonna. I think Shohei's gonna say, "Keep my guy."
You know what it's gonna take? Is Shohei's gonna have to like offshore bank account Teo some money. Like that's literally what it's gonna take. It's like Teoscar Hernandez has agreed to a 5-year deal for $12 million. Like what the hell? Like what's going on here? Shohei Ohtani was arrested at the airport today when trying to like, oh my gosh. Eunice says, "Yay, DG." She wants him to stay too. I think he is. He might be my wife's favorite player, or at least one of them.
He's great. Yeah,
He's
the defense isn't great, but yeah, I think he'll stick around. I had him at 75/3.
75/3 that's weird. We both kind of landed on that number. No, okay, sounds good. I like that because I know Dodger fans really want him back. Like, he loves it. It's like, Teo, don't you like winning more than money?
He looks like he's really enjoying himself too.
So why would you go to Seattle?
Yeah, plus Seattle's going to use all their money on Pete Alonso anyway. So
Yeah, they're going to be bankrupt after that.
You know this team had Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, Edgar Martinez at one point, like on the same team. Like,
yeah, those are some wild teams. Oh well.
All right, I won't skip you this time, DG. Max Fried, Harvard Westlake alum, teammate of Jack Flaherty and Lucas Giolito. Where is he going to end up?
I think he resigns. I think he resigns with the Braves. I have him at 175/6.
That's funny. I think that's what the New York Times had him at too. Shame on y'all. Not doing your damn homework. Come on, Murph, what do you got him?
155 over 5, going to the Mets.
Oh,
Mets make 3 big
Mets.
signings.
It's just like
3 big signings.
Steve Collins like me at the baseball card shop, apparently. He just getting whatever he wants.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, my gosh. All right, well, I got him at 210 over 6, going to the San Francisco Giants.
210. Wow.
Yeah, 210 over 6. I think the Giants could pay that for a second in the order or third in the order guy. I think they could build a pitching like identity around, like kind of, Logan Webb is a pitcher. He's not a hurler. He's induces a lot of weak contact ground balls. Max Fried was 4th in that category last year. I can see them kind of building an identity around, hey, we like to pitch. We're going to kind of, zag when everyone else is zigging, and get a guy who's going to probably be he's going to age pretty well. So, 210 over 6 because he ages. His profile ages well. All right, next up is his teammate and hopefully soon to be World Series champion, Jack Flaherty. Murph, where you got the J Flair going?
I think it goes 45 over 2, stays in the division, Padres.
45 over 2? The guy's 30. Like, he's not even 30. He's 29.
I don't know. I'm not super impressed by him.
I think Murph's going to buy both of us jerseys for how badly he's going to get his ass kicked here, Dan. 45 over 2 for Jack Flaherty?
Yeah, that seems low to me.
Seems low.
I mean,
The AAV is low.
Yeah.
26. What?
I mean, I gave him. I have this basically the same contract over 3 years, so it's not that different for me. But I had him at 70 over 3.
70 over 3 is still, I think, is kind of low. But Murph, you're paying Jomo $22.5 million next year. Like, you think Jack Flaherty is the same as Jomo?
Jack Flaherty has a career ERA over 3.6.
He balled this year.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He had a good last couple starts.
No, he had
He was really good in Detroit this year.
He was great. He was something to celebrate when we traded for him.
3.6 ERA, 1.28 WHIP with the Dodgers.
Yeah, tell me Jomo's numbers, and then tell me how much that was worth to you guys. Like,
I mean, what's it called? When he got the contract, he pitched better.
Oh my God, I can't believe you have him making the same amount as Jomo next year. That's insane.
Jomo pitched to a 2.8 ERA with the Rangers.
Yeah, but he took a bridge deal, and then he ended up
I'm giving basically the same deal for a worse pitcher.
He's not a worse pitcher. Colin, you have the information in front of you. He's not a worse pitcher.
Well, we didn't know Montgomery was going to suck. I'm saying, coming off of the World Series championship, Montgomery looked better than Flaherty heading into free agency.
I can see that.
He had a 2.8 ERA across 67 innings, Colin. All right? The rest of that was a 3.2. All right,
his year, just either way, before and after the trade, just merged the two. It's still better than what he did with the Dodgers.
Jay Flair was great with Detroit, though. And through 18 starts, he was 2.95 ERA. Yeah, he was balling out. And he's not like he was that much worse when he got here.
I almost had him going back to Detroit. He played so well there.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I ended up sending him to the Mets.
The Mets, dude. I feel like the teacher who gave out homework and it's just like everybody's giving the same answer. I'm just like, oh my God.
It's the same teams that spend every year.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
How is this shocking to you? Over half the league, it literally does not spend in free agency at all. So you're really just picking between 10 teams that you're sending everyone to.
You guys see all the thought I'm putting into my responses, and then it's for you guys, it's oh yeah, 75 over 3 Mets. All right.
You could put a lot of thought into getting wrong answers too.
That's true. You could be like Colin.
Yeah, just pretend the SATs again.
Nice. Do I have the lowest score in this room? I do, right?
Probably.
I know Murph was damn near perfect.
I mean, I don't know which one's lower between the two of you, but I'm confident I love you, you know.
That's what I love about Murph is he's so relatable.
I was in the 2300s.
Yeah, I had the lowest score in here by far, by like 200 points. I hate you guys. For once, I'm used to being the dumbest Asian guy in the group. Like, fair enough. I'm used to being the dumb Asian because everybody's like, I thought
Well,
you were Asian.
you're the only Asian, so you were that without even doing anything.
Inherently, yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So I have Flaherty going to so I have all these like long term, they're gonna like plant the flag this year. Because I think last year's bridge deals were a result of the market being flooded with like lots of comparable options. I think Eduardo Rodriguez and Jomo were like similar profiles, which is why I thought it was funny they ended up with the same team. But there was like a lot of pitching on the market last year. This year, not so much. I think it is like there are kind of clear-cut tiers to this, like how much you want to spend. And I think Jay Flair is going to get 224 over 7 from the Boston Red Sox. And I have this theory that the Red Sox are going to start pushing their chips back in, especially if they see Yankee weakness and a Tampa down year, and Orioles kind of looking invincible, especially if Corbett Burns walks. Will look a little bit more invincible. So like maybe the Red Sox might feel heartened to start pushing their chips in and try to compete because they were pretty close to a playoff spot this year.
I did think about Red Sox for him.
Yeah.
But that number seems very large for me. That seems like a lot of money for Flaherty.
Yeah,
personally,
I agree. But again, this is
I
like
clearly agree.
I think this is number 2 money, by the way. Like I think your number 1 should have a 3 in it, or should be like some Paul Skeens type of player, where like the value is insane. You know, once you have like that really good value for a frontline starter, you kind of play into that. Kind of like NFL teams who like throw the push the chips in once they have like a quarterback who's like not awful, and on a rookie deal, it's like that's the time you got to push chips in. Similar deal with like pitching is like, once you have one good value pitcher who's maybe on a pre-arbitration or a Super 2 year and going to be under team control for a while, then you push your chips in, spring for a number 2 starter like a Flaherty. I think Flaherty at number 2 is a playoff team. We're running him at number 1. We're about to win the whole thing. Last one, kind of a mystery one. Shane Bieber, Tommy John surgery. All right, sounds like a Diamondback already. Let's. No, I'm just kidding. Sounds like a Los Angeles Dodger already. Not a great run for these Cy Young Guardians pitchers who go to free agency and then like something happens and like whatever happened there. I think Klubat kind of melted down. Bauer off. Well, yeah. But so what do you guys think of this? Like Shane Bieber, he's gonna be recovering, but he's a free agent at the worst freaking possible time.
Yeah.
What do you think happens here?
I have him. Retroactive spoilers. I have him going to the Dodgers. I had him for $25 million, 2-year deal, but like very incentive laden and like sort of backloaded, similar to the Brandon Woodruff deal that he just signed because he was in a similar situation. 2 years, $25 million to the Dodgers for me. Because again, it is a very Dodger signing.
All right.
There's a lot of upside there, obviously.
It is a lot, yeah. Murph, what do you got?
I don't love this one, but I haven't gone to the Red Sox. And I think they massive overpay. They go 130 over 5.
Wow. So they strike while the iron's cold? Like they strike while the iron's in rehab? Like okay. That's actually another direction you could go in with that, is that they might be able to get some value on here, give him guaranteed money, and allow him to rehab and end up coming out in front of this deal if he looks anything like Shane Bieber from the last like 3 years. Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah. Pay for a lot of years of Bieber.
The whole thought is really of the guys, he is outside of Burns, he has the best top end. So if someone's going to be overpaid, it's probably Bieber.
Not to jump ahead of you know, I thought the Red Sox were going to spend big on a starter, but I thought they were going to go after Minaya.
Oh. Yeah, because they have such good experiences with lefty sidearm slot.
Try again.
If at first you don't succeed,
do it twice. Pay more money again. That's a pretty funny. That would be a pretty funny scenario. I obviously feel for the Red Sox and what happened with Chris Sale. That kind of sucks. Like couldn't stay healthy, but
and then immediately is great after.
Yeah, just balls out. Goes to the Braves, just Cy Young winning season. Man. But then, sure enough, he went out last game when they needed him the most. He went out. Then again, the Braves didn't need anybody that game. Was Spencer Schwellenbach? Like, who'd they run out there? They didn't care.
Yeah,
They're just like, whatever. Just throw a bunch outside. They'll swing at it. All right.
awful.
So I'm in the same boat as you, DG. I have him at 45/2. Or sorry, who had him going to the Dodgers?
I did.
Yeah, I'm same boat as you. 45/2, bridge year, player option, a lot of incentives, but total reported value at 45. Only because we can kind of spend like that. Yeah. I think. Okay, and a bonus question: does Roki Sasaki come to the majors before he hits 25?
I think he doesn't come this offseason.
Okay. Murph, what do you think?
I think he does. I think someone overpays for him.
Well, if he does, he only gets the international bonus pool money.
Yeah.
He's 22.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah.
Oh,
shit. He gets a minor league. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Never mind. He's not coming.
Yeah. No, I'm with the same. I don't think he's coming for another 3 years. So I think Bieber would be the bridge. We have like kind of pitchers coming back, and we're just kind of work him into that, and then have him bridge into a big contract as Roki becomes available. This is like me, Andrew Freeman, reigning, where I'm just like, how do I depress the value of Roki Sasaki as much as I possibly can? Okay. All right. Moving on. Guys, this man is near and dear to y'all heart, so I had to throw in a jab here. Aaron Rodgers, what is going on? He is... the Jets are 2-5 after losing to the worst team in the division.
2-6.
2-6, sorry. 2-6, yeah. They're 2-6. They lost to the then 1-6 Patriots. I think now they're 2-6, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty ugly stuff for Rodgers.
He actually played pretty well in that game.
You know what's funny? Like, I know. I was like, he doesn't look that bad. Everybody's like, he's washed up. I'm like, he looked pretty good. And he's like, oh, we need 30 points. We needed 30 points. And I was like, that's a very random number, Aaron. But like, yeah, you did. So is he done? Because like, this has been like kind of a long-winded crap on New York sports media, right? It's just like, what happens if this keeps up? Like, is there any way he can come back to New York next season? Well, he has to, technically. He's under contract. But, like, do they try to ship him out? Like, what do you do if you're, I don't know, super reactionary Woody Johnson?
It is a rough situation for the Jets right now. Like, and it has been. You said he's near and dear to our hearts. I mean, not anymore. It's definitely been there's been a healthy amount of Schadenfreude watching this Jets team this year. I think it'll be more of the same this year. I think this team is not going anywhere fast, and they sort of. Well, I mean, Jets are going to Jets. Like it's, I see no good option for them going forward coming out of this year.
Murph, what do you think is going to happen to Rodgers here?
Obviously he's hit that age where he could retire at any point. I mean, I think his entire leg was on the injury report before the last game. I think they had ankle, calf, and hamstring.
Whoa. All they're missing is the knee.
Exactly. It's one of those things where I remember Kurt Warner and Brett Favre at the end of their run, they were basically talking about how they felt they could still play at a high level. It's just the recovering that's a huge problem. Rodgers is getting the ball out so fast right now because he's so scared of getting hit. And it's like kind of what the issue is there. But he's the furthest problem from this team. But obviously he's the highest paid guy, so they're just going to make fun of him for it. But you look at like what Rodgers has given him this year. If he had the supporting cast that they had for Zach Wilson last year, they're comfortably in the playoffs right now. I mean, shoot, if Greg Zuerlein just kicked as well as he did last year, they'd have 3 more wins. He is an absolute terrorist right now for the Jets. He's costing them 4 to 6 points a game. I mean, his kicking field goal percentage is not a passing grade in college. Like, it's really bad there. But I was looking up some other things. Last year, defensive DVOA, 3rd. Special teams DVOA, 5th. This year, special teams DVOA, 30th. Special defense DVOA, 21st. This is not the team that he joined, where everyone said, like, plug and play a quarterback, and this team's competing for a Super Bowl. 21st defense, 30th special teams. This is 2016 Packers. And this isn't 2016 Rodgers. So I think that's the biggest thing. His receivers also aren't really doing him a lot of favors. I think there's a reason why Pro Football Focus, they've had him between 8 and 12 in their rankings all season long. So I think when you talk about that, is EPA per play is above CJ Stroud and Matt Stafford. Like, again, he's not playing great, but the defense being 21st, special teams 30th, kicker missing a field goal and an extra point basically guaranteed every game. It's there's a lot of bad things going on in New York right now. The question, though, I have to throw back to you is, how many kids are going to be named Aaron in 2025 in New York? And which is the most hated Aaron in New York right now? 93 BAC level hitting Judge, or Aaron Rodgers talking about the darkness.
I can tell you that they're both probably below Aaron Hernandez. So it's a bad year for Aaron's. Yeah, I'm with you. I got a kind of weird question. Do you think he does the Favre? Like he's like going through the Favre like career arc. Does he finish the Favre arc by going to the Vikings?
I think the J.J. McCarthy draft pick sort of put that to rest. As fun as it would be to have the prophecy fulfilled for a second time, I think he goes out. I don't think he goes to another team after the Jets. I think he either plays again or retires.
He's very petty and spiteful.
Yeah.
And he really hates the Vikings for putting the broken collarbone play on their best plays of the decade. And he brings that up randomly every now and then. It's just the thing that he hates about them. So I don't think he's really forgotten about it. And then you're talking about also, that play was literally pointless. It was like the 5th regular season game in the first quarter, and it was a throwaway. It wasn't even a sack. So there's literally no reason to include that play except for because it broke someone's collarbone. Like it wasn't even a sack. Didn't force a punt. So, I mean, it was clearly classless by the Vikings. And I think Rodgers absolutely has no love for that franchise.
Is it more likely he goes to the Vikings or the Bears?
Well, the Bears are Caleb's.
Yeah, no, but like say they were both open. Like if you're Aaron and you have a choice,
you go to the Bears.
Really? Wow.
He like sports hates the Bears. He like constantly teases them. He like actively doesn't like the Vikings.
Okay, I like it. All right, guys, we're here. 34 seconds. All right. So clean your pipes. Get ready. All right. Okay. Who's going first? You know what? How about I just decide who goes first based on like who I liked from today's episode? Okay. I thought Dan was prepared, more prepared than Collin. but both of you guys are horribly prepared. I'm very disappointed in your performance today. We're definitely gonna have a talk after this about putting more effort in. I got a couple Glaber Torreses here for that free agency exercise. I'm just kidding. I'll come up with more fun games. But this is. We'll go with Dan first. You got 34 seconds. You're on the clock now.
All right. This week, the bone I have to pick is with NBA uniforms. The NBA season came up this year and just started, and once again we see home teams wearing their road uniforms and road teams wearing their home uniforms, and it messes with the entire aesthetic of the league. In baseball, you have this classic matchup between the Dodgers and the Yankees, and they're wearing their home whites against their road grays in both matchups, and it looks great. Whereas in the NBA, it's just utter chaos every single game. Dodgers wear the Lakers wearing yellow on the road. I hate it. It is a scourge. People complain about fouls and everything. It is the worst thing about the NBA right now. The uniforms.
All right, that's a good one. I like it.
I saw a Mavs-Bucks game where the Mavs were wearing green and the Bucks were in blue. And I was just so mad. That was the issue, but yeah.
So many Lakers matchups are Lakers in gold at home and the road team's wearing white, and it infuriates me so much. It's terrible.
But no, my actual rant is about starting project quarterbacks and then bailing on them way too quickly. I mean, Anthony Richardson has been absolutely horrible this year, but there's no reason he should have been starting in the first place. Like Jordan Love, his rookie year, what did we do, DG? We QB3'd him. He wasn't even the backup. He wasn't active for a single game. Tim Boyle was the backup. Anthony Richardson needed at least a year and a half, probably 2+, to fix all of his inaccuracy issues and his mechanics. But instead, they throw him out there. He flops with his bad, inaccurate throwing, and now all of a sudden everyone's calling him a bust and piling on him. It's just not doing anyone any favors. And I think it's not a surprise that we're seeing quarterbacks kick on their second stints like Darnold and Geno.
Nice. Wow, okay. That is... Okay. So we got quarterbacks that are starting too soon, and we got NBA uniforms. I got something that has nothing to do with sports. All right, 34 seconds. Here we go. I'm at the supermarket today, guys, and... I counted no fewer than fucking 4 people. Sorry. I know we're not supposed to cuss. Talking on the phone, on their speakerphone, holding their phone up to their face. And I cannot stand this. I think it's the most obnoxious thing. People just talking out loud, having a conversation, and why do I need to know who you're talking to, what you're talking about? I don't care. All right? There are AirPods. Use those. Okay, that's 34 seconds.
Isn't there a progressive ad about that?
Is it? It's just insane to me. And I'm in a nice part of town, right? I'm in Beverly Hills, at the pavilions in Beverly Hills. And
but what's the median age of these people?
Dude, anywhere from 20 to 60 I saw. It's insane. What?
My
stop
dad
talking on your speakerphone.
I actually do it, but literally because my phone is busted and I can't answer calls like this. So I have to do it speakerphone. But yeah, even it makes it so that I don't answer most of my calls in public because I don't want to be on speakerphone in public. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Guys, we're in a weird age these days. People are just doing whatever the hell they want. Well, that does it for the 34-second rants. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's game one. It's game 4 of the World Series. About to go off on Fox, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go Dodgers. If this is the last episode before we do it.
One last chance.
Murph, let them know who you're rooting for.
Go Meteor. You're running out of time.
I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.
All right.